Algebra 1, we're on the practice final. It starts with chapter 1. This video is just going up to number 30 for the first day's worth. So for number 1, we're just looking to put the A, B, and C, the numbers, in their places. Inside the parentheses is where we'd always want to start. So in the parentheses, we'd have a -5 for A, plus a 6 for B, which is 1 so far, plus the -7 for C would take us down to -6 in the parentheses. And then to multiply that by 1/3 is just to divide by 3. That would get us a -2. 2, you just need to remember the words. Quotient means divide, product is to multiply, sum is add, difference is subtract. I'm sure the test will have a variety of those words. Don't just expect quotient to be on the test because it's on this paper, but you need to know all of those. Quotient, divide, the best way to write division is with the fraction bar now and not so much with the 2 dot, the line in the middle division symbol, but put 22 on top of an M. 3, increase means to add, so just put y plus x. If you go out of order, x plus y would be just fine too. If I switch that to be something like decrease, that would just change it to be a subtract problem. 4, you just need to know the 2 minuses in a row like that make a plus. It's a positive 24. For 5, you need to remember that the absolute value bars act to erase all signs. So for 5, it's just a regular old 43, the negative gets erased. 6, you need to remember that the bars act like parentheses, that you do them first. So 6 is not a minus makes plus problem. 6, the bars act first to turn the -9 into a normal 9. Then 24 minus 9 is a 15. 7's problems from 7 through 19. You're not allowed to use a calculator when you take the test. Those are non-calculator problems. Even though we earned the right to do calculators on the test, those are non-calculators then. 7, we need to remember the rules. Negative and negative adding makes a negative, and we add them together, that's -44. 8, we need to remember adding one of each makes us subtract, and it depends on the bigger sign. Common denominator helps us on this using a 12. The first fraction would change to be 3/12, the second fraction 4/12. The 4/12 is bigger and it's positive, so it's a positive answer. We subtract to get 1/12. 9 is doing a negative minus a positive to get a bigger negative. That's going to go to -50. 10, we need a common denominator of 8. Make the first one 2/8. 2/8 minus 5/8 is -3/8. 11, we need to remember that multiplying is positive when the signs are the same, so this is positive 27. On 12, it's negative when they're different, so this is negative. And you could either go straight across and have to simplify a lot, or you could cancel. I would cancel 3 with 9, leaving a 3 on the bottom, 5 with 20, leaving a 4 on the top, and go with a -4/3 there. 13, dividing has the same rules. Signs are the same, so positive, and it's a 4. 14, you'd want to flip the second fraction when you have dividing like that. 2 negatives makes a positive answer. Canceling is, again, I think best. 3 and 6 leaves 2. 7 and 21 leaves 3. Multiply across, grand total there is 6. 15, if you put the numbers in for the variables, we'd have a -4 where A is, a minus, and the parentheses still live, a -5 where B is, plus is still there, a -6 where C is. You always do parentheses first to get -11. Minus a negative makes that add. -4 adds 11, and that'll turn out a 7 because it depends on who's bigger, and we subtract and the positive is bigger. 16, we're obeying the order of operations. Adding is in last place. Parentheses were first, exponents were second, multiply, divide, tie for third, add, subtract, tie for last. So here, multiply and divide are tied. We do the one that's on the left. Multiply to get 24. Divide to get something like 2.4 if you like decimals. 6 adds 2.4, that's 8.4. 17, we want to work with parentheses first, so this is 12. Then I have a multiply tied with a divide. So I'll multiply on the left is 60. divide to get 20. 9 plus 20 is 29. 25 minus that's a negative 40. 18 is just 2 times 2, it's 4. 14 is still order of operations. Parentheses first makes 6. Exponents are in second place to make 36. Multiply to finish up to 144. 20, just add the coefficients to get 11x. Don't change the x's. We want to have like terms, problem and answer. 21, we're distributing. 2 multiplies both things to get a 6m and a 2n. 3 wants to distribute to get a 6m and a minus 6n. Those are like to make 12m if we add them. These are like to be a negative 4m if we add them, keeping in mind adding when they're different, it depends on the bigger one and we subtract. 22 we're distributing. Negative 5 times positive 6 is negative 30, still with an x. Negative 5 times negative 2 is a positive 10. 23, if you have parentheses with nothing in front of them, you can ditch them. Parentheses with a minus in front, that minus has to change both signs, so the 9's now a plus. And then look for like terms. Negative 8, positive 6 is going to make negative 2 with the x's. And then the positive 7, positive 9 is going to be a positive 16. 24, if you replace the letters with numbers, we'd have 3 going in for A, plus, still have the parentheses and the squared and the cubed. Negative 4 where B is, negative 5 where C is. We want to start in the parentheses. Negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5 is negative 125. Negative 125 adding negative 4 is negative 129. Negative 129 squared means negative times negative, which is positive. 129 times 129 is 16,641. And if you add on the 3, it's 16,644. 25, we're back to just knowing words. More means to add, so 20 plus x. If you add in a different order, you're fine. Less would mean to just subtract, and if you ever see the word less, make sure you turn the order of the words around. Less is a magic word for that. So 20 less wouldn't be 20 minus. It would be something else first, like an x, then minus the 20. 26, product is multiplied, so 6 is multiplying something. For the number squared, put an x squared. So it just looks like 6x squared. 27, we have a person who weighs x. Then there's another person who's 40 less. So that's 40 subtracted from x. Again, less, maybe reverse the order of the words. So this is kid number 1 weighs x. Kid number 2 also has an x because we don't know him. Don't know his weight, but that's x minus 40. We do the sum of those weights, so we want to add those weights. Is always an equal sign to 40, and that could go in the first blank, that problem. Combining like terms, 2x minus 40 is 240. Doing opposites, add 40 to get 280. Divide 2, and that would be the weight for the first kid is 140. The second kid that was 40 less would be 100. We need both of those answers, the 140 and the 100. 28 is similar. We have a number, call it x. Then we have the second number that's 8 less than that, so x minus 8. Then I want to do the sum of those two different numbers is 16. Throw that in the first blank. Then combine like terms. 2x minus 8 is 16. Add the 8 to do an opposite, so we're at 24. Divide by 2, we're at a 12. We're just looking for the 12. 29, we're just back to knowing words again. Just take it a word at a time. It says 5. More than is add. A number is x. Is always equals. 10, that's all you have to do. 30 is product is multiply. 48 and a number. Then we decrease, which is subtract, by 7, is equals 5, and we're good. And you don't even need the multiply sign there. If you just want to write it that way, that's fine. That's what I did, but the multiply sign doesn't hurt anything. If that's enough, if it's not, email me. We'll talk on Zoom or work out another way to talk. For next time, you'd be finishing that sheet from 31 to 60.